I was born in Pakistan, 20th of March 1960, in a small village near Gujar Khan. One of the earliest memories I have in Pakistan is I think there was some kind of a war going on, and I'm not quite sure who it was with, and I ran away from my home to the next village to see my relation, and everybody was looking for me, and then I came back in the evening. They were really panicking. I came with my mum. My dad was already here. Landed at Heathrow. I think cried most of the day, all the way from Heathrow down here in a car. It was a long journey. It was very, very daunting. First week I cried at school every day because of the language barrier. And I remember one of the funniest things at school on my first day was my parents said, at lunchtime, don't eat any meat or chicken, and it's going to be halal. Me coming from a village, I'm sat in with the in infant school, I'm thinking, when it's lunchtime? And they brought the cranes out, and I'm thinking, do I eat these or what? And then when everybody started drawing with them, I thought, this isn't lunch. I think sport originally came to me when I was probably about 14 at school, when Pakistan was touring England. And I think those days was people like Sarfraz Nawaz played and Asif Masood. And I went with a couple of friends to Headingley to watch them, and that's when it all started. That was my first test match. I think I was about 14. There was a few of us played in the local park. We used the tree as stumps, and we started off tennis balls, and then it gradually got to, I remember, the size 6 bat, and we all contributed towards the bat as well. And then the tennis ball got to another sort of slightly harder ball, and then slowly the team developed from there. Then we got to get more players, and then finally managed to get a team eventually called Shizan. The local parks is only about 1.5 miles from here where we used to live. It was local neighbourhood lads that played there in Batley. So in those days when we started with tennis ball. We didn't need much equipment except a bat and a ball and a tree. And then slowly as you got further into the game, we obviously didn't know the rules as well, but the LBW rule, we used to make them up as we got along, or if you were not a bully, but if you wanted to stay there longer, no, you hit the wrong leg. Nobody knew the rules, and it slowly started there from getting to know the rules, and then buying equipment, then moving from parks to play other local sides, and then everybody chipping in with what pocket money they had. And gear was expensive those days, and our parents were obviously all working class, and we all had to share, and we couldn't afford everything that and we used to have one bat, a couple of stumps, and it all started from there. Nobody had their own gear. And my father was okay, but there was an odd few parents that didn't support their kids going out to play cricket in the local parks for whatever reason, I don't know. I went to the infant and junior school in Batley, but then I went to secondary school. It was a comprehensive school. Went to a school called Thornhill High. That was the first proper pitch we ever played on at school, and we used to get other lads to play, and there were clubs there, and Asian lads their main game was cricket. So they loved cricket. In winter, they didn't want to play football or rugby. They wanted to stay inside. So Asians were happy that we were playing cricket. I played every sport there is, but cricket is the main sport. And the other sport that I was quite good at was table tennis. We created a team. It was when we got invited to play some senior players in Bradford, a school on Tong Lane, I think is a college now. When we got there, there was one guy who had a car in the whole team, so there was a few in that car. The rest of them bussed it, and we got there, and we obviously didn't have any whites or nothing, and they said, "Oh, we've got changing rooms for you." I think our age span was from 14 onwards, so never mind cricket boots, and that was a proper wicket that they played on there. And I remember one of the guys, Ajmal Shahzad dad, we played with him there. And they told us to go show us the changing rooms, and we had no gear, no whites, and we thought, this is embarrassing. So after that we all slowly bought gear to play cricket. And that wasn't a league, it was just a friendly match, and that's where it all started from. I played for the Dewsbury under 18s. That was Dewsbury District. That was in the Central Yorkshire League, I think, those days. And I briefly played a few matches in the second team as well for Dewsbury. And then our team, Shazan, we got it properly organised. We had a secretary, chairman, and we had enough to play to create a squad. And that's when we played local sides like from Heckmawike, Dewsbury, and team from Bradford. That's where the Caddyism League started. That league was mainly formed for people for fun on a weekend, and it slowly developed from there. The under 18 for Dewsbury was a mixed side, so there was well, Asians and English. There was Gujaratis, Pakistanis, and English in there, all under 18s. I can remember playing, the important one was playing at Wakefield, and those days Imran Khan played in one match there, so we were looking forward that Imran Khan had played there once. So it was a memorable thing when we went to play at the ground at Wakefield. I think he only came and played 1 or 2 matches there. In the Caddyism League, we didn't have any proper pitches. We used to go pick like see where there's less grass or middle of a field and see where it's best that we can, pitch the stumps and take things from there. And it's probably a football field, or it just we found that wherever 22 yard looked good, we just picked the stumps there and started playing there. And then from there, then we realised, we haven't got any umpires. Then we used to argue, and then the league developed from there, with the umpires coming to it and other teams coming to it. Then it got more professional. Dewsbury District League, they had proper council pitches that they played on, so they had the wickets cut for them, I think on a Thursday, and then come on a Saturday the wickets were cut. I mean, they were proper wickets compared to what we played on. After playing a few years in the Caddyism League, and then some lads from other leagues like the Dewsbury District League or Central Yorkshire League wanted to play. They were more talented than us, and plus older, more experienced. So we used to get odd one player coming from there playing in our leagues, teams, and to make the team better. And then there's a few of us who went up the grade and played for in the Dewsbury District League. Some of them made it, some of them played in Central Yorkshire League, some of them played in second team, some played in first team, and it developed from there. If I had played in Central Yorkshire League, I think my cricket would have got a lot better, but because I played in my friends with the Shaheen Cricket Club, we all played in Dewsbury District League. It's totally different wickets to Central Yorkshire League, and our cricket didn't develop there as proper batsmen because the wickets weren't very good. Although they were better than Caddyism League, they were not proper wickets because they were cut by council people, and they didn't do a good job compared to Central Yorkshire League or Bradford League, and we couldn't play the proper shots. Or even if you're an average bowler, you were good there until you went to a proper wicket, realised how it is to move the ball, or how hard it is to bowl a bouncer, and so you couldn't play correctly. But you could tell people who could play correctly and not correctly, but you had to adapt playing on Saturday wickets for the Dewsbury District League. There was a few of us. There was a gentleman called Lukman Hans. He moved straight away from Dewsbury District League to Central Yorkshire League, and he became a very, very good cricketer. And there was a gentleman called Javed who was captain of the Shaheen Cricket Club. He eventually played for Bradford League in Hartshead Moor. So I played for Shaheen, and had a couple of matches for Dewsbury South Side in Central Yorkshire, but then I opened a business, so it slowly fizzled out. I didn't play much cricket after when I was 24 years old. I think because my parents didn't play any sports at all, or they weren't into sports, let's put it that way. But I think it's like me now. I mean, my son, when he was 12, 13 years old, I tried to get him into cricket. He went to see all the international matches. He went to meet the Pakistani famous players. When he became 16 and 17, he wasn't into cricket End of story. Well, with me, it was totally opposite. I didn't get guidance from family where they take you to matches or play cricket or football. I went into it myself and didn't have the proper gear, bats, pads, stuff like that, financial gain. So I think if you want to become a good cricketer, or you need a lot of backing from your family, you need to go. Obviously, they need to take training from an early stage. I mean, now, if you go to a local club, even say whether it's English or Asian club, they start at 9, 10 years old. You got under 9, well, under 13s, under 15, under 17. So they start at an early age, and where they pick a bat up, they've got helmets, they've got gear, they've got proper coaching, they've got proper wickets. So you've got a big base to start off from. We had no coaching. We used to get battered and bruised. When we started, we had them batting gloves, but we had them green spikes on the back. Obviously, no helmets. We weren't playing on a proper wicket where we practiced, and we used to get it all over the place. We'd bat with one pad on, exchange bats after everybody's got to run. No umpire, so we used to end up arguing. So whoever could argue well or were bigger said, "You're out, you're out." That was it. Our season lasted till about probably 1985, 86 maybe, and then we had the team got stronger, our team got stronger. There was a couple of people playing for Bradford in our side. People wanted to play for our side as well, so we were quite lucky. 1986 I sold my business and opened another business in Nottingley, which is near Pontefract, Castleford area, and I started playing for a team called Nottingley Town Cricket Club, which is in the Yorkshire Council Pontefract section. So I've been playing there since 1992 until last year. I am officially retired, but I can't get in the side now because my eyesight's gone. And plus we've got, like I mentioned early on, there's a younger generation in the second team. And I can't get in the second side because we've got 4 or 5 youngsters. So if I play, they have to drop out, so I don't play. And now every team you go to, they have a good setup. They have committee members, they have chairmen, presidents, they have coaching staff, they have proper groundsmen. Although it's very hard financially to run a club because of unless you can get funding, we just scrimp and scrape. And I've been there since 1992 and I'm president of that club now. Our team, Shizan, obviously we didn't have those organisation in the team those days. All we had was a secretary and a captain. That's about it. And then we used to get money off everybody to play every week, and obviously there's some didn't pay, some did pay, and we used to share the gear, where now everyone has got their own gear. Everyone has got their own gear. I think in my era, in the late 70s, Caddiism League wasn't very strong, but it got stronger as it got along. Every year we got teams joining from all parts of town, like Huddersfield, Bradford, as far as Sheffield. So team got famous, from the Caddiism League got famous. Even when I remember when I think it was Majid Khan who brought under 19 side to England. There was, I think, a couple of test players in there. Rizwan Zaman was one of the test players. They played with the Caddiism League. So the Caddiism League was known in Pakistan as well. I'm very happy that the league has progressed. I mean, I haven't mentioned, we even organised one of the first, the Caddiism League. Well, I don't know whether we organised, but we won the first India-Pakistan match at Harrogate. It was the Caddiism League. All the volunteers were there. They run the tickets, the ground, security, everything that day. So you can imagine, I don't know if you ever went to that. That was the first match between India and Pakistan there at Harrogate. So Imran Khan had his charity matches here as well when Pakistan team was playing as well. So it was great, you know, organisation by our Caddiism League. Got further, name got further all around the UK. I went to that game. We lost. Pakistan lost in the last over. So one of them things. I played against Shahid Mahboob, Abdul Qadir. Abdul Qadir came here with the Pakistan side. He played for Hung and Eaton, lived in Batley, Dewsbury with our friends, and he played a few matches I think for Shaheen. Iqbal Qasim played for Shizan as well. I remember we went to Rochdale and Iqbal Qasim went with us as well, but he played odd matches as well with us. Shahid Mahmood played for Shaheen. There was few other test players, or should I say overseas professional, that played as well. These guys, they hung around with us, so it was normal with us, you know. Only thing for them different was the wickets, that's all. So like Shahid Mahmood, he was a fast bowler, so obviously he wouldn't bowl fast on the wicket that we played on, because he would have been too dangerous. So he looked after everybody, coached everybody, you know. In the Qadi Azam League, only spectators we had was the family members. Only time we had a lot of spectators when we held a competition like six-a-side competition, which was a national side. We used to get a lot of spectators there. Personally, I think they should have stuck with it. It's just one of them old traditions where people would, from anywhere in UK, would come here and probably, I don't know the whole rules of it, but I think you had to be born in Yorkshire or your father had to be born in Yorkshire. So I think if they could have stuck to it a lot slightly longer, they would have been better for the Yorkshire Cricket Club. But obviously then with the overseas players and the rules, Yorkshire wasn't doing well, and then I think they brought Sachin Tendulkar in. I was I think first Asian person to play for Nottingham Town. Nottingham Town was a good club before I joined. There was a couple of county players that came from there. I think Des Barrick, I think, and there was another one, Peter Hepworth, and there's a few others who made into county level. And we played in teams where Jeffrey Boycott was from that area, Ackworth, Barnsley, that area. There was Darren Goff, we played at his club. So in that area, in the Barnsley area or Pontefract section, there was few people that went to play international cricket. And there wasn't a lot of Asian people playing for those sides in there. The reason why I played there was because my business was there, so I'd play cricket, then go to work afterwards in that area. And I was welcome, didn't have any tensions at all. The main was winning the national six-a-side competition in the Qadi Azam League. There was a team from Nottingham that used to win it every year, and then I'm not quite sure what year it was, but we managed to beat them. Well, they didn't get to the final that day, but we managed to win the final that day. Those days in the Qadi Azam, there wasn't many women involved as now, but now there's in the Pontefract Yorkshire Council, we have girls playing against us. When I play in the second team, there's few teams, but they have girls playing in there, and some of them girls have gone on to higher level. The girls that I played against, obviously, they're all right fielding and batting, but when it comes to when they face obviously the men are slightly faster than ladies, so when it comes to a fast bowler, they haven't got many runs against for them unless they're playing in the women's side. That's the only thing that they've noticed, but it's a stepping ground for them, for those girls. When I joined Shaheen, my first memory was signing for the club. We went. It was West Indies playing England at Headingley, and there was me, Javed, and Yusuf. I signed the form there with them, and then first year, I don't know what number I was batting, but I slowly batted up the order, and after a few years I won the batting averages, so I fit in with those guys really well, and really good fond memories of the Shaheen Cricket Club. I batted in Shaheen, but when we played in Qadi Azam League, we used to bat and ball. I think that's why Qadi Azam League was formed first for the people who wanted to play for fun, but then fun turned into highly competitive games, and that's where other people came in and slowly got stronger and stronger, and then we got older and the younger generation took over, and then they played on better wickets, they had more money, they could afford to buy kit, they had proper grounds to play on. where we just pitched our wickets on a normal football field. Qadi League, we used to our Shizan, we always to have a grudge match against Azad, because they used to bring, as we used to say, bring players from outside. When we say outside, from a higher league, so we couldn't beat them. We tried our best eventually, and because we could not beat them, and that was really competitive. And we used to argue after the match, you can't do this. This is a fun game. You bring in people from this team, that team, these senior players to young people. And slowly they all started doing it then when they realised you got to do it. Those days, like I had an opinion in Yorkshire Cricket Club that we didn't want any outsiders in. Same with the Qadi League. I mean, I remember, I know we won the six-a-side competition, but once we already lost in the final against this team from Nottingham side. And when we got to the final, we said, people said to us, why don't you get a couple of other people in, otherwise you have no chance. And I said, no, I'm sorry, we're going to play with the original six we've got, whether we lose or win. And we give them a good game, but we still lost. But we were a team that we wouldn't bring many players from outside to play for us until a later stage. Then we had a couple of guys from Bradford, because otherwise we're just going every week losing matches. I know that the top division is very strong these days, and if they can even develop one county level cricketer, or from not one but a few, it's a pitching, they can start from there, would be great if they could. But only thing is with the Qadi League, say you've got a good player who's got good abilities and somebody sees the skill, they're going to get picked up where they're going to go, either Bradford League, and then they're going to go to county level. It started as socially, but now it's very, very competitive, as you know. I mean, in my days, there was Javed Sabu was the chairman, then Mr. Tanveer from Shabab Cricket Club, he was the chairman, then I don't know who the chairman is now. I'm sure there is people in Qadi League, if they spot somebody who's got the ability and the skill, they pass the name on to official counties, and they might have their scouts come and have a look. I think any sports, whether it's cricket or football or anything, first of all, foremost, you've got to have skill and determination, and you need backing from your family as well, because they need to take you in your cars, training everywhere, here, there, everywhere. Without the support of the family, it's going to be difficult. A lot of people I've heard that who made it into the test arena, they've even got nets in their back garden. They practice day in, day out, and without practice, it's going to be very, very hard. I think if you've got the skill, you can do it. I mean, people bring racial things into it. I personally don't think so. I think if you've got it, you're going to make it. You've got to prove it, you will make it.